Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Welcome to a guy in his room again. It's gonna be a solo live stream again, like last time I think. I was gonna have a guest, but he got COVID. Now I don't know if that's an excuse or okay. Looks like I'm streaming on Rumble. Let me just see if I am on YouTube. Kind of weird. It's hard to go on my own channel sometimes. All right, looks like it's working. Yeah, I'm still not good at like scheduling these if I'm gonna do live streams. Like, I'm too last minute about it. But I was gonna have a guest. I was gonna again have Narwhal on. You guys remember him? He was on another episode before, where he was on a previous episode, and this was gonna be the sequel. But well, this is just a regular version of a guy in his room. I don't think anyone's watching, so if anyone watches later, hi guys. I may edit out this intro. I don't know. Well, it is cool doing these live recordings because, I'm not really as worried about. I mean, I don't have to edit the video because it's just a live stream. But the audio I did still edit last time. I don't know if I'll keep doing that, but just a note to everybody to appreciate what I do. This is a guy in his room, not a team in his room. One guy. All me. I'm a triple threat. Think about it. I don't have these guys that they have on these bigger podcasts where they, like the Tim Dillons of the world. Like the Wait, should I have my? No, probably not. I gotta remember I'm streaming because like the audio doesn't work when I do that. Like the Joe Rogans of the world, my Tim Dillon's out there. These people with podcasts that have real people working on them. But, it's just me, myself, and I on this one. A 3-man team. Like Tim Dillon, Joe Rogan, also Adam Carolla. I'm trying to think of every podcast. Pretty much every podcast ever now that has any kind of audience. They have a guy or somebody that's just looking up stuff as they talk. That's what I noticed on Tim Dillon's recently. Like they'll be like if I was talking about it and then someone would be looking it up as I'm talking. Now that does mean that these people that work on the podcast really don't have any downtime, like that guy Jamie on Rogan. He has to constantly be looking stuff up, He can't sit there and play games on his phone. He can't send cock pics during the recording. He has to sit there and listen. And to me, I have to look it up. Like I have to go wait and then look it up, and then it takes time, ruins the flow. Everybody leaves, and then I whip myself later. Like I get a literal whip out, or sometimes I'll burn myself with a hot wax or something. Like what's that guy in Boardwalk Empire that did that? Somebody who's really religious and they like whip themselves or whatever. Like, it's been a while since I saw that show, so I don't remember. But I just like, if I mess up because it's just me, I take it out on myself. I do practice self. I'm my own, like, dom. I'm my own dom and sub. Like I'll squish my own. Stomp on my own balls or whatever because like I'm really into like the fucking.
Just really into fucking having my balls stomped on. I just really like having my balls stomped on. I'll just hire a mistress and I'll be like, just wear high. Ugh.
There are people there are all guys that into that, and like, I mean, how did they not have to go to the hospital? I don't understand. Oh God, I can barely say it. Because that's like the area as a guy that you're like, you like, guys are like, well, that's like your most prized possession area, like no one wants to get their penis chopped off. Like, not me anyway. A lot of guys may be fine with that, but I'm not into that scene. No, that was always like the scariest thing growing up. Like when I heard about Lorena Bobbitt. When I heard about Lorena Bobbitt, the famous penis cutter offer. Now, she only did the one time though. That's the thing. Like she wasn't a serial penis chopper. Like now that would be like some kind of like super villain version of a feminist, like somebody who hates men, and then that's all she. Oh my God, But that was always something where, ever since I heard of that growing up, it's like, oh, that's my worst. Like that's the worst thing that can happen to you as a man, getting those chopped off. But it's like, that's what I thought. But now everybody's kind of just doing that to transition, and that's like I never would have really predicted that because even if you're gay or whatever, well, I guess if you're, yeah, I just can't believe, I can't believe that. I just can't even believe that. It's one thing to just like socially transition, not to get into this whole thing, but I mean, yeah, do that, but like, yeah, I just can't, I still can't believe that, that people are doing that, just chopping off their manhood, And I do think, I guess as I got older, like, I don't know, like every guy always says, like, I guess I'd kill myself if if somebody chopped off my penis or whatever, but I don't know if it's like, really, you don't know what it's like, because I was just watching this movie called Teeth that was in like the early 2000s, kind of, and I thought I remembered it as a horror movie, but it's more like I don't know what it is. It's more like I don't know if horror is the right word. It's kind of a horror comedy almost. It's like this girl that, we all heard the story. This girl who had teeth in her vagina or whatever. And I guess that was an urban legend. I don't know how I got on chopping penises off topic. But, oh, I forgot to. That's a little pet peeve of mine. If anybody's watching this and streams streams, if anybody is a streamer that is watching this right now, please stop doing this. I just did it because I forgot. Look, see how you can see an infinite amount of copies of me right now in the window? You don't need to have that in the window. I don't know why that bugs me, but like it seems like everybody who makes videos now does this, and sometimes they'll keep it on for a while, and I'm like, stop. It's like freaking me out or something. I don't know. Because, like, look, this is all the parallel versions of me right now. Like this. I think I'm Brian from the right universe, but like one of these, like, What if, like, as you looked out, you saw a different shirt I'm wearing or something in some of the distant ones? Like, does it? Here's my question, a little philosophical question as I have this on screen now. Does this go to infinity? Does this go to infinity and beyond? If you take a microscope and you look down to see how, you know, how small it gets there. I can't really zoom in enough to, like, does it go to infinity, or does it just go until, like, there's no, the screen can't, I guess if the screen was big enough, you could keep seeing more. I don't know. But this is Brian A, and then there's Brian B, C, and then it keeps going. Those are the different universes that are out there, guys. Just pick one, and that's how you switch universes, by the way. A lot of people might not know this, but if you ever wanted to switch universes... Okay, now I have to look that up because... hold on, guys. This is a real, I don't know if I'm gonna, I don't know if I remember the correct name of it, but there's a Reddit group out there that is literally where people think they're jumping universes. And I can't remember, universe jumping. What is dimension jumping? This might be what it is. I don't know. I don't remember where I heard this because it's so crazy that there would be a Reddit group for this, but yeah, I mean, this kind of does remind me though of kind of the same thing as The Secret, which I sort of mentioned before, like positive what's it called? Law of attraction, or like The Secret, where you just think of what you want and you just visualize it to happen. Like you're conjuring up a new life or something. That's kind of what this is. Like these people are like, I'm gonna switch universes, and then maybe I'll be a new, like, I'll have a girlfriend now. Yeah, even this article says on Vice, which I thought was going bankrupt or something, but I guess not. Every company now that goes bankrupt, like, nothing happens. All these, like, annoying activist websites, like Vice became that. They're just still up there, so. Largely, it's similar to stuff written about in The Secret. The idea that you can attract what you want out of life by following the law of attraction. Dimension jumping is centered around rituals, i.e. a test that'll help the user get from one place to another. One described as the mirror method involves someone sitting in dark... This is real, by the way. It's called Improve. It's on Vice. It's called Dimension Jumping. Says you can improve your life with these simple rituals. I have to be honest, though, when I was like maybe 20, maybe going into 20, I had graduated community college, and I really didn't have much of I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I did start to get into a little new age stuff a little bit. Like, not this, because I would have tried this, though. I definitely would have tried this. Past Brian would have one of those past Brians that were just in the window earlier. I probably would have tried this because it's like, although it did scare me a little bit. If you really, I mean, I know I'm making fun of it because it's probably, I mean, it's obviously not real, but what if it is? I mean, there's a part of me where I'm like, what if it is real? And I don't want to do it because people are like, I'm stuck in a bed. I jumped into another dimension and I'm stuck there now. I know it sounds crazy, but a little part of me still is like, what if it does work and you're stuck in I don't know. Who knows? It's like one of those movies, like, you watch those old Hellraiser movies and like those people in the movie are like, Yeah, nothing's gonna happen with this contraption, and then something does. That's kind of like this to me. I'm making fun of it, but do I do it? No. I mean, look, anyone listening, feel free to try this. But the tiny possibility, I know, maybe it's real, so I'm not going to do it because it said you can be stuck in a bad universe. So the appeal of this is that you can maybe jump into a parallel universe where life is better, like they do in the movies, but in real life, from the comfort of your bedroom or while you're on a loo break, as we Brits say, a loo break at work. There's the Reddit page with over 60,000 members. Dimensional Jumping is the Reddit name. Reddit/dimensional jumping. Oh, this is an archive, so I wonder why they closed it. Did they say we're worried about? Okay, this was 6 years ago. They must have deleted a bunch of stuff. I mean, somebody posted on this sub 6 years ago. This sub has slowly moved from a great ideology towards weirdos giving stupid stories to troll. Okay, yeah. I mean, that happens to every Reddit page. I wonder if there's a new version of it or something. So yeah, like obviously, if any of these are like, I jumped to a new, it's fake. It's a fake post. But like I said, I still haven't tried it. But you guys go ahead and
get out there, guys, and just try to jump dimensions. Yeah. I messed up my windows here.
Yeah, just do it, guys. Yeah, just do it, guys. The posts on the subreddit often describe how to DJ dimensional jump or what can be achieved by doing so. In one, the poster describes feeling very unfulfilled and unhappy in their job. It says they want to jump to a fulfilling career within a specific organization. 2 days later, the same user writes that they've received a phone call offering them an interview at the organization that they wanted to work for. Okay, so I was reading this part. You sit in darkness and stare at the reflection in the this kind of reminds me of
that movie Talk to Me, which is sort of recently out. That horror movie, where like it's like kind of making fun of TikTok stuff. It's like they have this like hand that comes alive and it's possessed or whatever. But that reminds me of this. Like if this was real, they'd probably be filming it on TikTok and stuff, and then everybody would be trying it. So like imagine trying these and I mean, you wouldn't tell anybody in your real life probably about it. Another method called the 2-glass method involves entering water from a full glass into an empty one, symbolically emptying your life of what you don't want and filling it with what you do. See, it's like, I mean, this is like very like ritualistic stuff that like we as humans, let me go a little deep and philosophical here, guys. We'll get a little philosophical, guys. What do you guys? Philosophical. Philosophical. Oh, I gotta share it again. God damn it. No. Yeah, screen. I'm gonna share my screen. There we go. Although I don't really need that to be. Yeah, I need that to be. Yeah, like we humans, like we just. Hold on, sorry. We like to think we're very, like we progressed past our ancestors. We progressed past caveman days. We progressed and we're sophisticated. We're very progressive. We're very evolved as a people. Well, look at this dimensional jumping thing. I mean, how is that any different from worshiping the gods or whatever analogy I'm trying to make, Some jumpers believe they purposely jump to a parallel universe through a combination of these methods and a desire to change their life. Others believe they've accidentally jumped. Uh-oh. Like the guy who said he woke up in a new house with a wife and kids he doesn't recognize. What the hell, man? Ryan is a 31-year-old psych student from Michigan who falls into the first category. Initially tried the 2-class method, and he jumped to a dimension where he's more content, and even one where his flatmates do more household chores more often. I mean, I don't know, imagine telling this to a doctor, just anyone. It's funny, because here they... There's an article here. Suggested article. This is what developing acute schizophrenia feels like. Yeah, it's kind of related, Yeah, so I don't really believe any of these. I can see, 16-year-old, I could see trying this stuff.
One dimension jumper, a 16-year-old named Nick, met me in person over a cup of tea, explained, "You jump to a different existence where your past is different, and therefore your future will be different." He added, after one of his jumps, he met a girl in the real world who was into the same music as him. Namely, A Tribe Called Quest and Marvin Gaye. "I never came across anybody that plays that music," he says. "Then she started talking about it, and I was like, whoa." So that's like, I mean, who cares?
Despite Nick's successes, it's difficult to ignore the fact that a number of the dimension jumpers I spoke to seem to suffer from some kind of mental health condition. Whoa, no way. Are you kidding me? No. They're really jumping dimensions. Isaac from Iowa said he'd previously thought dimension jumping can be linked to poor mental health. It's something I've thought about. I've actually been dealing with paranoia and schizophrenia. I do have hallucinations, visual and auditory. Oh, well, that I wouldn't worry. Those are common to Okay, so it's, 2 people with schizophrenia. Yeah, I mean, I guess they probably shut down that subreddit because they're like, it's encouraging mental illness. Even though it was all fake stories. These are all old, but I just want to see one of the stories, see if there's any. Yeah, the Mandela effect was like annoying because people got just like dumb about it, even though it's like, I mean, I know it's like any, you could claim anything was a parallel universe. There's no um proof, obviously, but this is probably fake too, but this is a post that says, "Not sure if jumping reality or just coincidence." All right, so about 2 months ago, I found about the website whichuniverse.nl, which, by the way, does not work anymore. So there was a website. Curious of the Mandela effect, I ended up into this part of Reddit. A month passed, and then I remembered of this page and came back to see if there's more to it. After reading, I tried to do the Owls of Eternity experiment. A day before, I was feeling a bit down, but then suddenly the next day, I started to get good news at work. No salary raise though. Found three times in a row money in the coffee machine. Had good news about the financing of a project I'm working on, but that might have also been a coincidence. Didn't see the owls though. I don't know. I kind of wish there was a cult that formed out of this. I want to see people who really believe in this, not somebody who's saying it's metaphorical. It's like a long... Man, this went down the rabbit hole. I did not hear of an owl experiment. Hi, everybody. I want to start to say I'm very new here, 8 days to be exact, but it feels like it's much longer than that. Is that another sign? I discovered this sub by accident, or maybe I identified something to help me, and it materialized like this. Yeah, there is really a fine line between new agey, quote unquote, beliefs, like new agey stuff you're looking into, or like somebody really believing in it. It's like such a fine line between, okay, now you're crazy, to like, it's from like, I entertain a lot of new age stuff, which I don't know what new age really even means, but just like metaphysical, spiritual, whatever stuff that you sort of, how people are about astrology, but like then you get too far into that stuff, and then you become doing like these giant posts and trying to dimension jump for real, like this guy. Somehow I'm seeing results already, just not things I necessarily ask for. I'll expand on that in a moment. First, I tried the glasses experiment. I haven't seen it manifest yet. It's like taking lab notes or something. This is like something you'd read in a Resident Evil game, like as the note thing. Like you walk and see a letter, and it's like this long, like, guy who did experiments, and now he's like a zombie or something. Day 7. The changes have begun. I try my best not to think about it, or if I do, not to ponder and imagine how I'll be getting those results. I also try to act like it's a fact, just waiting to materialize. Okay, so he tried the glasses experiment, but then I tried the owl experiment. I didn't understand that at all, despite reading so many approaches. It just doesn't work. I didn't think about it. I didn't look for owls just once every few days. I try to think if I seen any, and I realized I didn't. 3, this was something completely original I tried. From what I understood about dimensional jumping and its intention. If somebody else already did it this way, I didn't read about it. I was traveling in my dad's car in the back seat. Oh, I should put some, maybe, if I have any, this might work. In the back seat. It was near sunset, and the atmosphere was somewhat eerie. I closed my eyes and felt the car move very fast. We also had the windows open. I imagined I was in a wormhole, traveling to another world. I intended that when the car stops, I'd have reached my destination. I'm in a world where what I wish for is simply reality. For context, it was career related. I feel this is relevant, but you could skip it. I got my master's degree in a very new... Okay, I can't do the whole accent for this whole thing. Since then, I worked towards getting my U.S. visa. Let's see. Basically, it was like... I sort of sensed what I needed to do, but it wasn't very clear. Like a piece of the puzzle was missing. There was a university on the East Coast that publishes articles on their website about their research. I decided that's where I need to go. So here I am, back in the car, in my wormhole. When the car stops, I have reached this reality where I'm expected at the university, where I'll get all the training I need and a successful career. I believe I was imagining more facts of this new reality, but I don't remember the details, and it's probably better than... that way anyway. All the time I focus on that idea with my eyes closed so I can imagine and feel the wormhole, which was just a guy's penis in your asshole or whatever. That's what I call the wormhole. When you when he puts the worm in your hole, so I can imagine and feel the wormhole better. When the engine of the car stopped, I opened my eyes with a sense of relief and welcoming my new life like it was dawn. I'd reached my destination. I didn't focus on what I did, but I didn't forget that I did it either. And just about half an hour or less later, things started to change, but not really things I asked for, just things started to go better for me, like I was tuned into some new power. This happened this Monday, 9/11. Interesting that it was 9/11. Interesting. Okay, so it just sounds like, again, this is like... I don't know, this is pretty much the same as the whole secret thing. Law of attraction, where you visual... Like, yeah, if that helps you... like, achieve goals, I guess go ahead, but if you're really thinking this is literally real... Like, yeah, that would be an issue. I mean, yeah, I guess it's harmless if you just, like... It's really no different from, like, if you do meditations and they tell you to visualize something. It's kind of the same thing. He just thought, oh, I'm going to visualize a wormhole. You know, I'm going to... when I'm getting the worm in my hole, and then he thought, oh, now I'm going to visualize my life is a new life. Like, yeah, if you want to, I do think I did stuff like that, actually, when I was younger. Like, and it really is, you're at a point where you're just like, I'll just try anything. Like, not like I was, like, destitute. I'm just saying, like, I just didn't know what I wanted to do, like, long term as a career and all that stuff. So, you know, yeah, you just whatever. Like, it's like how people play the lottery. It's kind of the same thing. They probably visualize, I got my lucky numbers, and I'm gonna go in there, and I'm gonna play my numbers, and those are my lucky numbers, man. It's like, all right, well, you're wasting a lot of money on these lottery tickets. I don't know. So he said he's gonna make a part 2. So let's see if anything interesting happened, or he just thinks. Now for the freaky part. Now for the freaky part, guys. Is there any scary music? Scary music, guys? Scary music? A little corny. Yeah. I hope you guys can hear this. I have it low on the stream because it was loud last time. But I can't really tell how it sounds. Where was I? Oh yeah, part 2 of this guy's dimension jumping. Here we go, guys. Now for the
freaky part in chronological order. Thursday, I had contacted a friend I had lost touch with. We had been in a oh, he's gay, or it's a girl, I don't know, that doesn't matter for the story. This was it. We had been in a romantic relationship, and we knew each other since we were 12. We had a special spiritual connection. I miss him dearly. And I'm turning it off. After we broke up, he felt like he couldn't be around me anymore because it was too painful, at least for a while. I tried reaching out to him after 1.5 years of not speaking, and he scared me. He was so cold, so weird. Not just with me, but from what he told me about his new approach to life. He seemed almost like a zombie. Void of any feelings toward anyone, very cynical, focused only on work and nothing else. I let him be. Now, the Thursday before, I tried my personal way of jumping dimensions. I sent him a message again 6 months later after the previous attempt, something along the lines of, "Hey, busy?" He said he's at work and asked me if it was urgent. I said it wasn't and that we could speak later when he has a moment. Friday came to nothing. The weekend passed and still nothing. But then less than an hour after I got my worm in the hole, he sent me a message saying, "Hey, I'm free now. What did you want to talk about?" And we exchanged messages for a while. She seemed much warmer, more talkative, more his normal self. Not only that, but the next day he messaged me first. This was such a strange turn of events. It's like he turned not 180, but at least 130 degrees. What? This is funny how they
make it so dramatic. Like, maybe the guy was just busy, and he was just busy with work, and he, he probably wasn't any different. He just was like busy, or maybe he was starting to sort of date someone, and now he's back to being single, and that's all it was. He might be on the prowl. This is all of those. I don't know if you guys heard of synchronicities. It's kind of the same thing, but it's like you can read it almost anything. I don't know why I'm interested in this new age belief stuff, like all this crazy I mean, it's interesting, but it's like, I guess I'm now like, I don't know if I'm against it, but I guess I'm more critical now because, like I said, when I was like 20 years old or something, I got a book on numerology, which is like how numbers have meaning, and pick, find your soul number, and what, like there's even tips in there about like certain numbers mean different things. So like there's like the number 8 is linked to financial success. So I actually this isn't that embarrassing. I just wrote, like, I had the number 8 in my wallet, because I saw that. I was like, there we go. So, and then you have, I don't know, you could go super crazy with it probably and just have like everything in your house arranged to be a certain number, just be crazy, like OCD over the top. But that's pretty much all I did was I put that in my wallet. Maybe I wrote it on other stuff too, thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be rich now if I just write the number 8 around. Wait, what? Synchronicities. Meaningful coincidences. This guy says this is on Psychology Today. Psychology Today. Yeah, I think I read this article before, actually. So I don't really, some of this can be dangerous thinking if you really think everything's meant to be and all that stuff. Let's see, so like, I used to be a reporter for some Cincinnati Enquirer. I kept hearing a call to quit and become a freelance writer. However, after years of trying to ignore this call, the signs pointing toward it took on a whole new track. I was driving home from work one day, listening to us on the radio called Desperado, and I pulled out to the curb. And the last line The last line I heard was, "Don't you draw the Queen of Diamonds, she'll beat you if she's able. The Queen of Hearts is always your best bet." So I turned off the ignition, opened the door, stepped my foot onto the curb, and there at my left foot was a playing card, the Queen of Hearts. I just sat there, utterly dumbfounded, and wondered what it meant. And then one of his friends said that when you're on the right path, the universe winks and nods to let you know. So she encouraged his... I mean, that is a weird, I guess it's a weird, like, why would a playing card just appear like that? I don't know. It's almost hard to believe, but yeah, I guess it's like ESP. This guy's saying it is related to that. So this guy thought he was drawn to do a different career, and I guess go with your gut is similar too. I mean, I guess I do believe in that, though. Like, go with your gut. A lot of people... I don't know if it's always true. You always hear that stuff like... don't ignore your gut. And I agree, like... Because, like, what cults do is they try to get you to ignore your inner... Like... when you're questioning the cult and everything... They want you to ignore your, like, survival instincts, basically. But then people are like, oh, I had a gut feeling about this guy, like somebody who's a killer or something. I don't know if I believe those anymore. Like, I mean, because it's after the fact, like, so to say, like, oh, I had a feeling about this guy, like, like, what, how does that even make sense? I don't even, like, unless somebody, that does happen a lot, though. Like, I had a feeling. It's like, I don't know, give me a break. Unless you warn somebody. I mean, sometimes that does happen, though. Somebody has a feeling and does keep trying to warn people. And that is crazy when that happens. I mean, that does make me think this stuff is kind of real. Like, I don't know about the synchronicities and all that, and especially the dimension jumping. But anyway, getting off track, I want to see if there's anything good in here. See, this is the same, like, it doesn't matter that he thought he was jumping dimensions, because if that helps you get into a new mindset, like, I'm going to go after it because I'm a new person, like, whatever, See, this is all, like, so, like, I don't know. I am moving to the U.S., so this week I was busy with luggage. For the past 3 weeks, I was looking for a post service. So this guy probably is UK, and I was doing an accent just because I always do that, but he may be a UK guy. Or girl, I don't know. I was busy with luggage. For the past 2 weeks, I've been looking for a post service. I couldn't find one. Tuesday, trying to make my final decision, and came across a service I hadn't seen before. They transported suitcases as well. They even had a video on how to prepare them for transport. And then I thought, without being self-aware, I bet it would be even better if I could just fit everything in the 4 suitcases I'm taking on the plane. Guess what? As I was packing everything, I realized I don't need to use that service anymore. I somehow managed to fit everything in 4 suitcases. Okay, so that's evidence That's evidence you jumped dimensions? I mean, it could be you just didn't have as many things as you thought you had, you know? I mean, yeah, I think I always have more stuff than I have to dwindle it down all the time. Another sign he puts here that he jumped dimensions is looking for a present. I finally found a present for my mother-in-law's birthday, a Kindle e-reader. So I found my older Kindle, and I reached under the bed and blindly grabbed a cable, and it was the Kindle cable, as I live and breathe. So he thought that was a sign he jumped dimensions because he found a cable that he thought he lost. Also yesterday, my mom came back from work, and I saw her open bag on the floor as she was taking her shoes off. I say, "Oh, you've got a book," and grab what I thought was a book, but it was in fact a large chocolate in a white cardboard package. I said, "Oh, I thought this was a book." Then she said, "Oh, but I do have a book in there. The author came by and gave it to me." The book was about my former high school turning 150 years old this year. I didn't realize it until now, but this is also something related to education, like my initial wish. Yeah, I don't. He's reading into it. Like you found a cable you thought you lost. I don't think you jumped dimensions, because like I would think like if you jump dimensions, USB isn't a thing and they use something else. Like iPhones have an even different port. Or like it's just like, I don't know, slightly. In this universe, Samsung makes the iPhone and Apple makes the Galaxy. Something totally stupid. By the way, I did watch the new South Park. South Park. Even Forbes liked it. I don't know if they're woke, but joining the Panderverse South Park. I did watch that, and they made fun of multiple universes. See, I tie it all back together, guys. I always tie it back together. They make fun of like multiple universe, like multiverses are like boring or lazy, and they have there was some stuff in the episode where I was like, oh, I kind of realized what they were what their larger point was. The multiverse stuff. They have Stan's dad, or Stan, I mean. What? Stan Morse, is that his name? They have, what's his, maybe they're both their name. Maybe the kid's name is Stan and the dad. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Wait, no, it's Randy Marsh. Yeah, okay. So Randy has everybody in the. Also, I like this part of the South Park episode. Just so you know, guys, this is gonna be the. Hold on, sorry. This is the review, entertainment review portion of the podcast, everybody. South Park. The Panderverse South Park review.
My review. South Park. Thanks for tuning in to the entertainment review.
You guys have heard of South Park? Well, guess what? They have the Panderverse. Disney satire at its finest. Interesting that Forbes is taking shots now too. Maybe they feel free to because South Park did. So like, hold on. So yeah, I like that it hit like both sides like they usually do, but um yeah, I guess like Cartman apologized to Kathleen Kennedy in it. I don't know, do I think that's corny? I don't know. Yeah, so like it talks about here. I don't know if everybody will. Well, I mean, yeah, everybody will get it because yeah, they talk about how everything's being replaced by AI, and they also talk about like basically college kids how they're all outraged all the time, and I think it was making the point that like it's because they paid so much money and now AIs they're not gonna have jobs. And yeah, like all the adults in this episode like don't know how to fix anything, and they have to hire these like tech guys, and it was obviously making fun of Elon Musk and Zuckerberg. And so Randy has eventually, spoilers, but he has a portal to the multiverse in his kitchen because his oven door doesn't work, and Randy goes into it, and all it does is like replace his shirt and like clothes over and over again. Like that's the only thing the multiverse is doing. And he's like, "Oh shit, and he was like amazed by it because like I think they're trying to say Randy is Randy finding it amazing is like I think a shot at it because it's like, oh, this dumb Randy guy thinks this. He's like, whoa, and like all it's doing is replacing his shirt. And I mean, yeah, I am sick of the. Well, I don't know. I didn't even see that new Spider-Man or the second Doctor Strange, but I know they keep doing multiple universes, the whole WandaVision thing. And yeah, that does get like you don't keep using that, like so like I don't know, like that was a point I tried to make, like think I've talked about before, and I tried a stand up bit about it, but I don't know if people really understand this, but like to me, like this South Park episode was saying, like they imply like they're showing, oh, adults aren't going to know how to do anything because AI is taking over, or in this episode, just because I don't know, people are just getting dumber. I think that's true. I think yeah, people just will like that was my concern about the self-driving cars and all the AI stuff is like we won't have any practical knowledge. Like this episode makes that point, but it does it with like handyman, but that's not, But I do think yeah, handy skills are going away. Like plus they're making stuff where you can't fix it yourself anyway, like all the new equipment, all the new cars, computers, everything, especially Apple computers, you like can't really fix them. You just have to go to the Apple store. Go to the geniuses. you know, because they're geniuses there.
I'm an Apple genius, so take it to me. Take it to me. Don't try to fix yourself. You're not allowed. It's illegal.
Well, you probably void a warranty, but
It's illegal because I'm an Apple genius. So I'll take a look at it. What's wrong? You probably yeah.
yeah, you probably you know, yeah, you're probably stupid. I'm an Apple genius. You're like dumb, probably. I'm an Apple. Well, because I'm smart, because it says genius. You know. I mean, Apple was pretentious enough, and then they call those guys geniuses. You know. Oh yeah, like a funny. I don't know if I want to give away all the jokes in this. But yeah, it's just really funny how they replace everyone, and then, well, you'll have to watch, guys. But so I guess like this guy's like they take shots at everybody. Is that how they get away with? I mean, I don't think, you know, I do think there was like tiny little campaigns trying to cancel South Park on Twitter before, but like they just never, because, you know, it's been out for so many years. And maybe because it's a cartoon, I don't know. I mean, Family Guy too does edgy jokes, so but you know, for a while there was no good. Like I was kind of done with society. You know, I was on here pretty negative over the pandemic. I was pretty negative on this podcast, like very cynical and
just down in the dumps, man. Just down in the fucking dumps. Oh, it's bad out there. It's bad out there.
And yeah, I do think it is not going to get better, but well, I mean, I think there's some signs of like this is one good thing. South Park finally mocking the diversity, forced diversity is good. I don't really you know, yeah, Kathleen Kennedy does deserve to be mocked. I don't think it's only her, probably. It's probably not only her to blame. But if she's at the top and somehow people thought it was her, I don't know. I mean, I haven't looked up to see if she's made quotes about like I'm gonna make this feminist, I'm gonna whatever. I know she wore the Force is Female shirt before. May have. She probably did talk about like getting women to like Star Wars or something. But I don't know if it's only her. Like, but she deserves criticism because yeah, I mean she's been in charge. She's been like putting her face out there, and she's been redoing like, you know, that Indiana Jones. And not that I really had that much desire to see a new old Indiana Jones like that, but I don't know. But yeah, that she kind of ruined Star Wars. I mean, I have no interest. And I remember when those, you know, everybody was so excited when those new sequels were announced, like, oh shit, there's going to be new Star Wars that isn't the prequels. Like, and now everybody's looking back on the prequels like, oh man, I was harsh on those prequels, you know? I mean, they are goofy, but, I don't know. Like, what? I wonder how people think about those now because they kind of, well, yeah, they lead up to the Darth Vader story. They at least are more like they have a through line. Like, there's a lot of extra shit they could have taken out. Like, same with probably the Hobbit movies. I haven't even seen all three of those, but you know, like, I mean, sorry, but if you're like a executive, like you deserve criticism. Like, you guys are a huge company, and I know you can't cry sexism like they've been doing for years now. I mean, South Park could have made fun of that way earlier. Now they're making fun of it. It's like after all the Star Wars came out, after Indiana Jones came out. But at least they're doing it. I mean, that's one good sign. And another good one is I saw Tim Dillon this weekend live. That is a good thing. That you guys should be excited that I saw him and you didn't. I wonder if anyone upload. Oh, I don't. I wonder if anybody did. You know what the thing is? You know what's So I saw him at Carnegie Hall this past Friday. And they did not, which was interesting, they didn't take phones at all. So I sat there with my phone the whole time. They didn't do any security. Well, they did make you go through the thing when you walked in, but then I put it back in my pocket and no one. So I like Carnegie Hall because of that now. I don't like having to give my phone. Like, I know comedians, I get why comedians do that. And it makes sense, but like, I don't know, Tim Dillon didn't do it. Yeah, what do you do if somebody posts something, though? I didn't see anyone filming, though. And I didn't see anyone checking, but I just didn't see anyone filming. I don't know if maybe, yeah, they didn't take my phone, and usually, they did for Louis C.K. when I saw him a couple of years ago. Yeah, I just don't, this is his announcement, I guess, of it. We went to Carnegie Hall. And yeah, so that was another piece of good news. I saw Tim Dillon, guys. And I say that was good news because he was really good. He was like, you know what? I gotta be honest. Like, I felt like he was even funnier than the Louis show I saw, but it's close, that's for sure. But I mean, the thing about Tim, he really, he did more. Well, I don't know. Louis also did a trans joke, but Tim just comes off more like he cares less actually about. And Louis kind of did a bit saying, like, hey, why wouldn't you choose a different gender or be trans? Like, but he did it in an edgy way. But I mean, Tim Dillon, I guess he didn't really mock trans. He just, well, he did go into the whole what if one day he had a kid that was trans, he would give him the best.
Pussy. Money could buy. Give him the best pussy. Money could buy.
And he just was saying, he was just acting out the telling his kid hey, just like this how he was describing. I don't know. Is this bad? Would he be mad if I describe? Well, he would say, I would give my son the best pussy, whatever money could buy. He would basically show it to all the family and whoever came over the house. But the way he was describing that was so funny. And then he described the surgery, how they do the surgery, and it was people were just. I mean, that was great. That was a great. It was another great moment for me because, I've been really pretty feeling down about stand-up since COVID because, well, for a while anyway. And I don't I'm not, I wouldn't describe myself as an edgy comic. I just think I feel like I felt like I was censoring myself, and everybody they still do, don't get me wrong. But I guess like now I'm just trying to think of like, all right, Tim's doing this. It is possible. You know, everybody I see, every comic I see who's doing stuff that's actually funny, that's a little. I really like, you know, I am somebody who likes when people make fun of all sides, like South Park does. And that's all I really want. I don't like. I mean, I'm not. It's funny because I get defensive about. I'm sick of people mocking Republicans, and it's not even because I am one. It's because I'm just so bored of people acting like they're Nazis. You know, I mean, you can't just keep saying crazy shit all the time. You can't keep saying like.
It's genocide. Israel is doing fucking genocide, okay? It's genocide. And if you don't speak up about Palestine, you are literally a child molester. And kill everyone, and you are worse than Stalin and Hitler and everyone, okay?
Yeah, you can't keep throwing, like, I'm just done with this. I'm totally, I guess people have, like, I think that, I know some people caught on with this, like, a little bit, like, what's going on? Like, oh, yeah, where were you? Even Tim Dillon on his podcast was talking about this, like, you know, Amy Schumer and people like that going, like, what's going on with colleges? I mean, they're told that everything is violence. They're told, like, Republicans are Nazis. Now, I don't know if they were literally taught that. But when I went to college, well, I went to community college and then went away to university. But I was never taught, like, that crazy of shit. Like, I know my friend had a feminist class, feminist literature or something. So that was the most extreme stuff I heard back then was feminist stuff. There was really no talk of trans. This was 2006 or 7. No talk of trans back then. Gay stuff started to be talked about more. But you know, nobody back then. I just don't remember hearing. Oh yeah, because they would have, like, I remember when I went, they had people that regularly were pro-life would go to the campus, like, to purposely, like, you know, show pictures of fetuses and stuff, like graphic pictures of abortions and stuff like that, and they would just go there like every maybe once a year or something. And I just remember people like I do kind of remember starting to hear like this shouldn't be allowed kind of talk, like this is outrageous, this shouldn't be. And I just remember going like, well you can just like walk by them. It's funny because I remember first time I saw that, I was mad. Like, how dare, like, why would they do this? Fuck those, like, religious assholes, whatever. But then after, like, I saw it again, I was like, all right, these guys just want a reaction, and that's what they wanted. And that kind of, I did start to get that feeling that people did want that to not be allowed, you know, on campus. I mean, it's weird because I don't, like, they didn't have an abortion clinic on campus, I don't think, but they just come down there and show those flyers. I just was more like, I don't really want to see that, but if it's allowed by the First Amendment, I mean, you can't say that shouldn't be allowed, like. But anyway, yeah, like, I'm just sick of, I want to see a Republican comedian. I want to see a Trump-supporting comedian because it's just refreshing. I don't have to agree with it. I don't have to. Like, I'm relieved when I see stuff like that because I'm like, oh, thank God, finally. And that was what's great about that Tim show. He had a couple openers. He had one that was this lady who I guess was just pregnant, just had a kid. And she talked about being like raised Republican, and made a joke bit where she was referencing like her husband is more left or something, and he corrected her like with because she said homeless, and he was like, you're supposed to say unhoused now, and her joke was like, and I felt all this Republican rage and like. Sorry, my cat hitting my keyboard. But it looks like I'm still alive. Yeah, so like what was I talking about? I need a co-host or a guy in the studio to tell me what's going on. Oh, she said like you feel like the Republican evil and meanness or something, she said. And she said that it didn't get a laugh. I think, well, that would actually surprise me because at any other New York crowd, that would have got a laugh. Like, yeah, yeah, Republicans are all evil.
Republicans are evil Nazis.
And like, that crowd was just not having it. Like, I guess Tim's audience is like me, you know? I was wondering if I should show a picture of I'll try to send it to myself. Hold on, guys. I'll share. Maybe I could just show my phone. This is terrible. Okay, so that's what it looked like. Really fancy opera house looking. And they had a like opera singer or like I don't know, a singer out there and a piano player like while people were seating, which was really cool. I mean, I was really into how laid back it was in there. Like I know it's like fancier and there wasn't like even really refreshments being sold. Like no one was even drinking in their seats or anything. I mean, honestly, like it was just like I'm like I really like that venue now because you just go in, you have somebody up there that's not that loud. You can talk over that opera singer lady. Yeah, but yeah, the crowd was loving all his like. I was like sitting there like, wow, this is great. Like, cause like just like young women in there, like a lot of young women in there laughing hard at his like edgier jokes. I was like, wow, this is like a sign that's not all hope is lost, really, because you know all those people in there, I would not have pegged a lot of them just by looks. I guess that they would be laughing at a lot of that stuff. Like, you know, he did a bit about Andrew Tate, how he went to a restaurant with Andrew Tate. He made fun of progressive people. You know, talked about Israel and stuff. I mean, he didn't really take a side on that, which was he basically felt he like talks about like I do. Like I don't, you know, he joked that like people think he has to have an opinion because he's a big loudmouth guy. And yeah, I don't want to pick a side either. I don't like stop like shut up about this shit all the time.
Pick a side.
No, that's not the right voice. Here we go.
Pick a
Oh,
side,
pick a
side,
side,
or else, or else, or else, or else, or else. It's not that hard to pick the side of the people that are, pick the right side, okay? It's not hard to speak up against fucking genocide. It's genocide. It's literally Nazi genocide. Okay. You are aiding and abetting genocide. Okay?
Yeah, like I was saying, like, I'm just done with this over the top. I'm trying to think of the right word, like hysterical, just over the top hysterical smears, like saying Israel responding to a terror attack is genocide. I mean, if you're talking about the whole history of the like two regions fighting, like, okay, I don't really know. You can make an argument, but I still think you need to say, like, and this isn't catchy at all. Like, if you say it's a genocide, you have to add, in my opinion, and that does not look like, that's not a fun thing to yell or put on a sign. This is like, Israel is stop the genocide, and then, in my opinion, in parentheses. It's not catchy to say that every time, but that's what you should have to say, in my opinion. I did it just then. Stop the over-the-top bullshit all the time. Like, oh, Republicans are literally... Trump is literally Hitler. Everyone's literally a Nazi. And, this whole genocide thing is just the newest one. I mean, but they've been doing that for a while. Like, Republicans are committing genocide. No, genocide is you want to literally, like, eliminate a whole population. And you're using that way too much. You said it about trans people. You said it about, black people. You said it. Now you're saying it about Palestinians. I mean, you can't say it for everything. You can't say it when it's not a genocide. You can say, stop the murder, stop the, innocent deaths or whatever. But the whole fucking genocide bullshit, just in your opinion, It's, in my opinion, this is genocide, in my opinion. Allegedly, it's genocide. I mean, Israel should sue every single... I'm not even taking a side, I'm sick of it. I'm sure Israel would say the same thing, Palestine's committing genocide against Israel. I mean, you guys are saying about everything, so I'm you lost me. I'm not listening anymore. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just not, like... The whole thing with everything this has been done to everything. Me Too. Everything is sexual assault now. Everything. The guy looked at you and he winked or whatever. This nice old guy winked at you. Winked at a young girl. And then she can just say it's assault. Like, you've ruined everything because of this over the top smear, like, bullshit all the time. Over the top. Like, you pick the worst thing. Genocide being like the worst thing you can do, and then you just say everybody who you don't like is doing that. You pick the worst guy you can think of, Hitler, and you say you're the guy you don't like, Ted Cruz or fucking Trump or whoever it is Hitler, literally. And then you add literally sometimes when you really want to drive the point home. You go, he's literally Hitler. Well, then what is a real Nazi then? What are those guys in Charlottesville? Those are, like, what do you even say about them? If somebody is a real Nazi, then what do you say? You've already, like, it's the boy who cried wolf over and over again. The boy who cried Nazi for everyone. Every single stupid Republican. Now, look, I'm not, I don't agree with every Republican thing. I'm not, I don't think abortion should never be allowed like they do, but You know, you can't say they're not. You're literally Nazis. You just can't keep saying stuff like that. Because everybody tuned out. I think a lot of people tuned out, honestly. The Me Too stuff is not getting, like, Russell Brand is already not being talked about anymore. Somebody recently on something I was listening to pointed that out. Russell Brand isn't even being talked about. It was like 2 weeks ago or something. They were like, he's done. He's done. Look at the guy for Rick and Morty. The Rick and Morty guy, they fired him because he maybe kidnapped it was a crazy story, but he's kind of not being talked about anymore. I think he's kind of okay because people are just done with this shit. I mean, I don't want to feel like I have to take a side. Like, what are you talking about? You have to dig into something? Like, I'm not doing that because, like, what if I'm wrong? Like, I'm done with doing that because too many people are jumping to ridiculous labels all the time now. Genocide, Nazi, whatever. He's a oh, you don't, like, support every single bill I want to make. You want them to all genocide. You want to genocide everybody. Like, shut up. And I mean, yeah, South Park made it fun of this too, like the PC principal going like, well, you guess you have a problem with a black woman. Because you don't want Cartman to be a black woman. What do you have? What is wrong? Why are you threatened by strong women? That's what I want.
Seems like you're a little threatened by strong women. Be threatened there. Be threatened there. Be threatened there. You're a little threatened. You're a little threatened. You're a little threatened.
Oh, why don't you sit down there? Yeah, Chris Hansen, why don't you sit down there?
You see, I'm a little threatened by strong women. I guess you don't like strong, independent, black lesbians. You don't like that. You don't like that. You don't like that. You don't like that. I guess you have a problem with strong women. Sit down and do some learning.
And come back and do the work and apologize. Come grovel. Come grovel, okay? So that you can hire us activists. Yeah, the comedian Kurt Metzger before pointed out that, like, all these people doing the cancel culture, like, they basically want to demote everybody that they're canceling and then take over those positions. Like, that's what they want. Like, that's why they would get hired by, you know, Marvel and Disney and all these stuff that are doing these stupid woke decisions. You know, probably because they hired these activists that canceled people. And then all they have to offer is put their ideology into the show. They don't even care about this show or the content. Because they were hired based on the fact they were, like, just in the cancel culture stuff. Fighting the culture war. They did tours of duty in the culture war. I did 5
tours of duty for the cancel culture war. I think I made that joke
before. Sorry, guys. For repeating myself, but it's important words. Thanks. If anybody happen to happen on the stream, give us a like. I forgot to tell my friend I was streaming. I'll do that next time. Hopefully I'll have Narwhal on soon from Comic Fees, who I was going to have on today. Not to call him out or anything. I just am telling you guys to stay tuned. He's hopefully coming on soon or whatever. So there we go, guys. That is have something to play us out, maybe though. To play us out. What does that mean? This has been
a guy in his room. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned. Maybe a guest next time, maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to see which way the wind blows. Thank you guys for listening. Hit the subscribe and share out that link. And I'm also on podcast apps, and I'm also go look at the description for the links. If you want to see my fucking dick, click on the link below. I have a page just for my fucking dick. It's not even, it's just like, everybody now has to just get into porn. Every podcaster
now will have... That seems like it's almost a trend. Every online creator is now going to just... And my OnlyFans is below. Like, that's how far below... That's how far degraded of a culture we have.
Sorry. Did you think I was getting
uplifting this episode? No. Sorry. But who knows? Like I said, Tim Dillon was funny. And we had the South Park. A couple of good news items this week, guys. A couple of glass half full. Maybe we should have a segment for glass half full. Yeah, but I can never keep these episodes under an hour. I tried. Maybe someday I will. But I always feel like, oh, it's not good. I'm going to keep going. And that's what you get. Quantity over quality. Just a fucking long podcast with no guests. But thank you guys. Thank you, Internet.
Yeah. Stop recording. Stop streaming.